going on, Jeromes? A beautiful Sunday. It's time for some Q&A. Also got Junior in the background. Say hi, Rocco.
Hi.
Hey, turn down a little bit. Easy like Sunday morning. My yard work shirt. I like it. First up, Q&A. Thank you for everyone who submitted questions. We're going to get better, and occasionally we'll put it out there on the community tab. Call out for questions. First up, Carson Poodle. Cam Skattebo. Yes, no, maybe. Also, my dad grew up in Apple Valley, Egan, Skull, South Metro represent. So, the problem is that the Vikings aren't in the area where Skattebo is probably going to be drafted, right? So, day two, top of day two, second round area. Vikings currently don't have a draft pick. Also, the Vikings are currently racked up and stacked up at running back, and with Jones and Mason. Mason is on a 2-year deal. Aaron Jones turns 31 in December, so it is a spot where they could use some running back help, but I don't think that they're going to use one of their 4 draft picks, even if they do trade down. Now Skattebo is going to be so interesting because he's not the biggest. He's not the fastest. He's got great contact balance, stays on his feet, solid receiver as well, can throw the ball. I think that he has a chance to be like the ultimate utility player. And in terms of a utility running back, it's not like he's going to be like a wildcat throwing the ball, but actually might. Who knows? I don't know. Like there isn't a good 1-for-1 comparison for him in recent NFL history. I guess one of the better ones is Ben Jarvis Green Ellis. It's from back in the day, but Skattebo is obviously a way better receiver. So I don't know. Like I think the Vikings will add a running back if they trade down late in day 3 or potentially making it a priority UDFA. But I mean, Skattebo would be a lot of fun. Skattebo is the type of player that you want on your team. I just don't know if it's going to be in the cards for the Vikings. Next up. Jesus loves you forever and ever. Are there any highly touted prospects that you just don't trust outside of quarterbacks? I understand that generally you want to talk up players for the draft. It is the right thing to do, but realistically, not everyone they say is high on is going to hit. I remember Yetta Gross Meadows kept on getting linked back to the Vikings 2020. So there's a couple of boomer bust prospects in this class. I think Luther Burden III. I think that his skill set will translate if used properly, but I could see some downside there as well. Shamar Stewart obviously is 1-1, absolute physical freak, physical monster, but the production just wasn't there. And at a certain point, you can explain away lack of production. Like Daniil Hunter at LSU had 4.5 career sacks, except it was the role that he was being asked to play. A lot of setting the edge, a lot of absorbing bodies, a lot of freeing up his teammates. And, respect to Daniil for doing that. But with Stewart, it's just like, it just wasn't there. And he's been surrounded by other great defensive linemen, Walter Nolan for a couple of seasons, Shamar Turner, and Scorton as well. So I don't know. Like, you're always going to bet on traits, but I could see that not working out long term. Also, I think that there is concern for like some of the medical guys, looking at Siobhan Ravel, Benjamin Morrison, etc. Except that's more medical than anything else. But I mean, this is a good class. This is a good class in terms of not like headlining star power outside of Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter and whatnot, but just dudes like there's probably going to be a good 60, 70 regular starters in this draft class. It's going to be interesting. Next, Ishandoe. What do you think about the idea of trading for Denzel Ward? We floated this up before. All right, so Ward's on a premium deal. You do worry about the injuries. You do worry about the concussions especially. So, honestly, I would be more intrigued about making a deal for Greg Newsome II, before he starts breaking the bank. But I think that Ward, nah. I think at this point, I think we're good to go. Plus, you're doubling up with 2 premium deals at cornerback. You just don't really see that. Cheaper than sauce, but not much worse. I imagine it would cost a second right now, maybe, probably more. Also, what if we said F it and got the final Colts interior offensive line trade for Quentin Nelson? What would that cost be? I think Nelson would cost at least 2 ones because they're not in a hurry to move him. He probably could use some contract freshening up, but Nelson is still one of the premier left guards in the game. He is getting up there a little bit in age, but he's a premium player at a spot where the Vikings, he would be the missing piece. He would be the final infinity stone. Just getting Darisaw, Quentin frickin' Nelson, Ryan Kelly, Will Fries, and Brian O'Neill. You'll be good to go there. But yeah, it's going to be spendy. But at a certain point, so 24, relatively late first round pick. Next year's first rounder is going to be late as well. Got the cap space. Would be tempting. Next, Pato Wadomi Frobe. Who fits the Vikings defense better, Tyreek Williams or Kenneth Grant? I think they're both really good nose tackles, both really solid against the run. I think that Tyreek has a higher floor, but also has a lower ceiling than Kenneth Grant. I think Grant, great physical attributes. Bruce Feldman, top 10 physical freaks list, and he does play a little bit more upright. I think Tyreek is a little bit more of your traditional one tech. But with Grant, I think that physical upside, if he develops as a pass rusher, I think that does give him the slight nod. But overall, wouldn't be mad with either of them, right? So I think that value-wise, Grant's probably going to go first, maybe ahead of the Vikings. Maybe the Vikings have a decision at 24. Tyreek's probably going to go top 40. You could see him at the top of the second round. But either one, like I said, would be ready to rock and roll. Lastly, 80s baby. Who's a player in the draft you hope falls to us for some reason? Well, Kenneth Grant's one. Kelvin Banks is up there. I think that Banks might be drafted 10 to the Bears. I think that's a great fit. But if he falls, just play him at guard. Play him at guard. Estate plan for Brian O'Neill. And just good to go. And I know people are always talking about why are you moving positions. It seems to work for the Packers. I moved Elton Jenkins all over the place, Zach Tom, and both of them dudes are studs, man. But yeah, they're up there. Will Johnson. I know that there's some concern about Will Johnson because of health. I don't think that's concerned at all. I think that he is pretty clearly cornerback 2 in this class behind Travis. And even if he gets to like the late teens and early 20s, I mean, maybe the Vikings should just move up and go get him. Get their guy. Tet is interesting. So Tet and Noah Fafita did some great things down in Tucson with the Wildcats and Jed Fish before he took off for Washington. And Tet's interesting to me because I think that he needs to end up in the right situation. I think that if you're relying on Tet to be your wide receiver 1, I don't think that's where he's going to be best suited. Right. And, people make a big deal about his 40. That's fine. But huge arms, huge catch radius, contested catch spots, jump balls. That's going to be his game. I think that would work out so well with Jefferson, Addison, Hawkinson, etc. So I know that there's talk about Egbuka or LB3 if he's there 24. Somehow, some way, like Tet falls. Like it only takes one team to draft him, yes. But as people point out, like no wide receiver who's run a 4.55 has been drafted top 15 in years. So I do think that Tet would be interesting. And the Tet offensive is back, baby. I'm allowed to make that joke, I think. Anyways, that's it. That's it. Vikings Q&A for this beautiful day, baby. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skol, production value.